says here, as you can see, massive price movements up recently. And that's another thing. A lot of people have been tracking all this stuff. Again, public information on chain. He literally says here, as you can see, the massive price movements up recently. Doesn't really take millions to move to cause quite large movements up. You can literally see the money in the chart movements. It's obvious, measurable, mathematically defined. Everything here seems deliberate, calculated, with a plan. How do you make the case for the other side? How do you make the case that that RH is not here to take over? I don't see a compelling argument that all this just adds up to, yeah, we just go sideways for a while. Like, I just don't see the compelling argument for that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I like to think about this from we can use other icons in the economy. Like, let's look at Elon. Like, people bet on Elon Musk because he's an entrepreneur who's got a track record of success. If Elon died tomorrow, yes, his companies would live on, but would they have the same impact that they have now? And would they have the same driving force behind them? Probably not. Just the same with Apple. Like, Steve Jobs was Apple. He passed away, and they're still a very profitable company. But you could look at the price performance of the stock. It just doesn't do what it once did. And I think, outside of Richard Hart, dying or going insane, this is on a track to do bigger things than those two things financially. Not to diminish the impact of those other achievements from those kinds of guys, because they're equally as important. This is structurally and fundamentally going to change finance, and those guys structurally and fundamentally changed, aerospace and computing, home computing and portable computing, and they're all really big, important pieces of human history, and this just happens to be another piece of the puzzle that's getting laid into place. And he's basically saying here, like, look, you can see it. I'm not gone. You can see mathematically what happens when I make this move here or that move there, and that's just the observable ones that we can see on chain. It's like that on purpose to teach and to educate, and he gets to say through movements on chain without saying with his voice the same message.
Do you think, I've been saying telegraph for a while. I think he's literally being like, hey, you guys ready? You guys ready? Are you sure? You sure you want to leave? Are you sure about that? Like, what do you, look at what you're leaving. It's almost like this, like kind of like in a blockchain message, like, look at what you're leaving. We'll look at what you're leaving. That kind of thing.
Like that one tweet that he put about, like, oh, I thought you guys wanted to sell, and then the price pumped 80%. It's like, that's kind of him saying this here again, and he'll continue to say it because he wants the most people that can get in to get in. He wants to help people, right? Generally, he wants to help the single mom and the kid in college, and he wants to help people. Like, his biggest probably gripe right now is that not enough people are aping in, and that he's going to have to do this and leave a whole other class of people behind, and they're going to miss the first 100x. And he just wants more people on the subway train, right? And so he's trying to, shout as loud as he can without, getting himself into trouble with the regulators.
I think that's the thing. Again, people miss the most about, when they look at Richard. I don't know. Again, it's like one of those things. If you've been around for a while, you have to, at this point, look at the reasonable evidence that this guy is a good actor. He wants the values and the things that he wants to do in the world. He wants them to come true, and he's got the money and the power and the influence to do it. So why wouldn't you do it? If you were in we almost say it too much. It's like, I don't want to say it too much, but if you're in it for glory, what else is there but to go get it? And a guy in his position, we're lucky to have him. We really are. I think he's taken for granted way too much.